What is up everyone, it's the Sega Goo aka TSG aka... Ready for this? The home of knowledge and homage for all things Sega. Welcome to the channel. If you don't already, do hit the subscribe button. Now today we are checking out Afterburner 2, part of the Yu Suzuki collection on the Sega Dreamcast. Now obviously we've already checked out Power Drift as well as Outrun, and I have to say, to be fair, they are actually some pretty damn good ports onto the system. I think they work really, really well. And when you've got the creator of it basically doing the port, hey, who wants or needs anything else? So today we're checking out Afterburner 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. Let's do it! So yes, this does come as part of the Powerworks collection, which obviously has Power Drift, Super Hang-On, Outrun, Afterburner 2 and Space Harrier, all of the AM2 basically headed by Yu Suzuki titles, all playing on the Sega Dreamcast. And I gotta say, it is one hell of a collection. Like I said, Power Drift, Outrun, they all run really pretty damn well. But this is it, this is Afterburner 2. A title that actually until now I hadn't played a huge amount of, but I gotta say, playing the arcade version as well as the actual Dreamcast version here, the Dreamcast version really is, or how I perceive it, as pretty damn arcade perfect. Be it through sound, controls, it all feels very arcadey. I love this. This really has already made my top 10 of decent arcade ports onto the Sega Dreamcast. And at the end of the day, the Dreamcast essentially is an arcade machine anyway, so the fact it's playing exactly how it should really earmarks it to be one of the greats. And let's face it, Yu Suzuki, he knew what he was doing. Outrun run like an absolute dream, Power Drift exactly the same, although some people say yes, it does dip sometimes frame rate wise. I don't think it's anything certainly noticeable, and certainly isn't going to hinder the actual gameplay. Now the game takes place across 23 levels, although not all of them playable, because they actually do make up some of the kind of in-between bits, like when you're actually landing and then also when you're kind of refueling, that sort of thing. But yes, it's a fun-packed huge amount of levels. Now you're going to probably say, why would you want to play it on the Dreamcast? Well, you're not going to waste your quarters. This is by no means an easy title, but then let's face it, arcade games were never meant to be easy. Yes though, the way to play it on the Dreamcast is probably, for my money, with an arcade stick. I actually think that's the best way to play it. Don't get me wrong though, the Dreamcast gamepad is certainly serviceable, but to get that real arcade feel for me, I actually really like the arcade stick. Don't use keyboard and mouse though, that would be a bad idea. Now as you'd expect in supreme Yu Suzuki fashion, some of his other titles do actually appear in this game, i.e. assets from Outrun and also Super Hang-On, which is pretty cool. I've always loved the Easter eggs in his games, and hey, there's two of them right there. Another great thing about this title is the fact that the soundtrack that was obviously originally helmed by Hiroshi Kawaguchi, he'd done his work again here, and he's absolutely smashed it. Yes, he's basically just re-synthesized a lot of this, kind of made some slight alterations, so if you're thinking the soundtrack sounds very similar to the first one, that's because elements of it are actually borrowed from the original one, which I think most of you will agree really isn't a bad thing, because it is a kick-ass soundtrack. Now, straight from the horse's mouth, Suzuki himself said he actually had quite a good idea for the level design. He literally said, for the stage backgrounds, I wanted it to feel like you started out somewhere in the Mediterranean and we're heading towards Russia. But I don't think we did a good job showing that progression. Brackets laughs. That's how I wanted it to look though. And to be fair, I actually think it kind of showcases that. I think the kind of orange looking levels do feel very Mediterranean. Well, in my opinion anyway. In my opinion, this is a really good version of Afterburner 2 on the Sega Dreamcast. To me, this does feel arcade perfect. Yes, you don't have the kind of flight stick that you'd have in an arcade. Don't get me wrong, that would be incredible. But if you don't have that, I don't think there's a big issue here at all. This is a decent version of the game, and you absolutely should check it out if you're a fan of arcade games, or even just Afterburner. As always, like, comment and subscribe. It's Al signing out.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. As well as that, you can also back the channel on Patreon. QR code is down below. But obviously you can check out this video, you can also check out that video. And on that note, it's Al signing out.